What's good, people? This your boy J Rod on here doing another video today. And I just want to talk about one topic today is about starting, from where you're at. And it's never too late to start your dreams and going after your dreams. And that's really what I talk about there. A lot of times, when we're young, we have all these great ideas of things we want to do. Especially when we're like a kid or a teenager or a young adult, we have a lot, have a more powerful imagination, a more powerful, look at how we want our lives to be, especially like when we're in high school or in school or college or something like that. Then once we pass those things and we get out into this real world, sometimes life, can kind of, beat us up, or we can go through a lot in life, we go a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes, and we're going through life, we find ourselves, you know, losing our imagination, losing our vision, losing our drive, and then we feel like we're just going with the flow. We're just here to work, pay bills and then die. And that's not true, because we have to go back to the mindset of like how we were young, we're in our youth age, when we were young and we like saw ourselves doing great things, and we felt like nothing's going to stop us from what we want. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, like I said, personally, like I said, I was like that. It's like when I was young, I had a great vision, great imagination of things that I want to do in my life. But a lot of times we make choices, make decisions, whether they're good or bad. Sometimes we make decisions where we get married, we have children, and we put our focus on our wife and our kids and stuff like that. We put our energy into that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, I wish when I was younger I would still did that, but still pursued things that I wanted to do as well. Because what happened was, as we get older, and what happened was as our kids get older, as our, we go through our different relationships and stuff like that, whether we go through a divorce or we go through, ups and downs in our relationship, or we go through just growing in our relationships, and we're so used to having we're used to just doing for others or doing for our spouse or doing for our children, and we have them to, put our energy into. And I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Like my son, he came to live with me when he was a teenager. He came to me when he was in high school. He wanted to come live with me, which he did when I moved to Texas, and he stayed with me and me and my second wife, my wife. And when he graduated from high school, he went to the military. He went to the Air Force. And I remember, like, when when he went to the Air Force, and I was in my home, I was in my apartment before I bought my house, and it was just me, my wife, and I remember one day I came home from work, and I was sitting there thinking, this is the first time I actually, all my kids are pretty much grown now. I got my two of my daughters there. They live with my ex-wife in Atlanta, and my oldest son, he has his own place. Then my youngest son, my junior, Gerard Junior, he was went to the military, and I remember being there thinking like, okay, what do I do with myself? I'm so used to like taking care of children, doing for others and stuff like that, and I felt like, who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I realized that I kind of like lost my identity in myself, because all I was doing, I was always a hard worker. I'm still a hard worker. I'm always a hard worker, responsible, taking care of bills, always, always keep myself busy doing that. But sometimes you can find yourself being busy versus being productive. You can find yourself putting a lot of yourself into things and other people. Then when you're all alone by yourself, you realize you don't know who you are. And that's where I was at that time. I felt like, okay, who am I? What do I need to do? What did God put me on this earth just to be a dad, to be a husband, or to be a, just be a person that's working all day and don't have nothing, don't have a life after that, So I did this a lot of, I started really like searching myself and started trying to learn about things and do study and research on things and watch a lot of videos on stuff. And I remember one thing I did love, I love cooking. So everybody loved my cooking. So I'm a good cook. But being a good cook is a good thing, and being a good cook is a bad thing. And the reason I say being a cook is a good thing, it's good to know how to cook and make, do recipes and know how to, entertain and take, and show people, what you can do, and able to cook for your family and stuff like that. But when you don't, sometimes what happens is when you don't know who you are, sometimes you can find yourself eating, emotional eating. And I did a lot of that. I felt like I was emotional eating. I started gaining, I was up and down my weight all the time. And one day I looked in the mirror and I just didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I looked at everything. And like I said, recently I just just like the last couple of years, I really started focusing on how to get better for myself, whether it's like mentally, physically. First off, mentally. I had to, that's why I said started going to therapy. My life was okay. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was, my life was okay. But I wanted to go to therapy because I wanted to be better, a better person within myself. Because how can I be better for somebody else or people around me if I'm not happy with me? Like I said, it took me a long time to even say the words "I love you" to myself. I can say I love you to people around me, but it's like looking in the mirror and saying, "Hey, I love you. I'm proud of you. You special," to yourself. That is like, when once you can, like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I got choked up a few times thinking about doing that, and I had to coach myself into wanting to do that for me. That's weird. So I'm like, okay. So basically, let me go back to what I was saying. Basically, you know, I started working myself mentally, and then like this last year, I wanted to do better for my health physically because I was I'm gonna go to the doctor to get checked everything, but I was diagnosed like 6 years ago with sleep apnea, so I had to sleep with the machine, high blood pressure, I had high blood pressure since like 2010 when I got on blood pressure medication, and then like I said, then I like this last couple of years, like especially last year and a half, they tried to put me on. They tried to say, well, you're borderline pre-diabetic, and then they said, well, your cholesterol. So they tried to, put me on a lot of pills, a lot of medication. But I'm like, I need to make changes in myself. I said, because I don't want to go down this road of, like I said, I know some of us, we have to deal with, have to take medication for things. And that's okay if you don't for certain things. But I know in my situation, it was all about me correcting, my lifestyle and bettering my lifestyle in order to get healthier. So I made some changes. I made some decisions on, you know, getting my health right. And like I say, right now, I'm no longer on the pre-diabetic medication. My A1C dropped to dropped a lot of points where I no longer need to take that. My cholesterol no longer take that no more, and eating healthier now, eating better now, working out every day, working out much as I can. Right now, every day, but much as I can. And it's like really, like I said, that's working on physically because where I want to go and who I want to be and what I want to do with my life. Whether it's with my podcast, whether it's with my YouTube channel, whether it's with business, business adventures, business endeavors, and getting better financially. That don't mean nothing if your health is jacked up. That don't mean nothing if you you can barely move, you can barely get around. Like I said, the most I ever weighed in my life was 338, almost 340 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and when I was that big, I was like, you know what? It wasn't fun. I mean, because like I said, when you sitting there trying to, you look at your feet, look at your shoes, you like, okay, sometimes you gotta take a deep breath. You go to tie them shoes, and you get back up. You gotta sit back and chill for a minute because you out of gas from bending for a minute to tie your shoes or deal with your feet or wash your feet and stuff like that. Take care of your feet, and you like breathe. That's not good. It's like you know, I know we like to enjoy, I mean, I still love eating. I still love, food, but I'm trying to be smarter and be smart now with the food and be more conscious with the food because right now, like I said, I'm 49 years old, about to turn 50 in about less than 4 months. So, and my goal right now is to be in good shape at 50, better than I was at 30 or 35 or 40, which I will be. Because I mean, like I said, there's no ifs, there's no maybe. I will be. And a lot of times when you think about, you say to stuff to yourself, you speak to yourself and say, I will, I can. And you know what I'm saying? Use those kind of words where you take away the balance of maybe, maybe not. You say, okay, I am going to do this. I will get this done. You say those things to yourself. You say that and you believe yourself when you say it. So long story short, let me go back to what I was saying because I kind of ventured off a little bit. But what I was trying to say is that what we have to do is we have to like really. It's never too late to start. And I was watching, listen to this one podcast where the guy who started his podcast, he was 47 years old. I'm gonna find his name because I want to give him a shout out. He's 47 years old. He's talking about he started his podcast at 47, and he said that a lot of times people say at 47. He talked about Samuel Jackson. He said Samuel Jackson, when his acting career took off, he was 40 years old when he got really heavy into his acting, when his acting career first really started. Samuel Jackson is 70s now, but Samuel Jackson has been in so many movies. I think he's like in the Book of World Records of a person who's been in the most movies in history. But Samuel Jackson, if you look around, he was in every movie, but he started at 40. And a lot of times when we're around 40, we're thinking like, man, I'm 40 years old. I should have did this when I was 20, 25, 30. How am I gonna start something at 40? How am I gonna start something at 50? You can. How am I gonna start something at 60? I mean, man, like you want to come and get in shape. I see 80-year-old and 70-year-old men and women looking good at 70 years old in shape. When I'm walking around with a Santa Claus gut at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm way younger than them. Why am I looking and feeling like this when I'm looking at, a woman that's 70 years old and she's like looking fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a man, he's like 60, 70 years old and he cut up or he's in great shape and he's running, he can run circles around me. So I look at those people and I get inspired. Like I said, you never hate on nobody. You just look and say, wow, they should motivate you. They should make you say, I need to make a change. I need to do better. I need to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, right now, 49 going on 50, and I'm like, just because I'm 40, about to be 50, don't mean I have to look a certain way. I can look my best at 50. I can feel my best at 50. I can still try to run circles around young people at 50. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you just have to start where you at. Don't worry about, like I said, don't let your past dictate your present. Because right now, what's the most important is right now and what you're going to do for tomorrow. Start right now. Because the thing is, we look at our past too much. We look at, okay, I made this mistake. I made this choice. I did this. It may be too late for me, but it's not. Just make a decision. Say, you know what? I learned from that. Yeah, I went through that. I can't change that. I did stuff that I should have did. Or I turned right when I should have turned left. That's cool. That's real cool. But guess what? The mindset. What you gonna do now? How you gonna go about doing it? You know what I mean? Do it now. Change now. That way, you know what? Look at all the stuff that you fell short at, or you came up short at. Learn from that stuff. Don't look at it as a punishment. Don't look at it as negativity. Look at it in a positive way. Say, yep, I did that wrong. Now I know how to do this over here like this. Yeah, I should have did this way, but now I know I'm going to do it this way next time. Look at it like that. Look at your life like that. And that's how I look at me now. It's like I used to trust me, I used to beat myself up over a lot of decisions, whether it's a relationship decision, whether it's just, spending too much time where I shouldn't have spent too much time, whether I financially didn't do what I need to do, whether I was irresponsible when I was younger. It's like, no, learn from that. Yeah, you learn. Because my thing is that ain't nobody on this earth had a perfect life. I don't care how rich or poor they are. They never had a perfect life. But you learn from your life. You learn from the past, but don't let the past dictate who you are. Don't let your past tell you who you are. You know what I'm saying? Your past is there. It's like a guidebook. It's a book to look at. It's okay. Yeah, that I did those things. Now today, I'm making a choice. You know what? Because tomorrow I want to be over here. Like I was telling my daughter. Me and my daughter had a great conversation on the phone. She called me on Sunday. We had a great conversation on the phone, and I told her. I said. And I told her, and I text my kids. I said this. I said it, and about me getting in shape and going to the gym. I said I'm doing what I need to do right now to prepare myself who I'm going to be in the future. Because the thing is that who you want to be and where you want to go in the future, prepare yourself now. Get yourself now. Put your mind in that space now. Because what happens is when you finally get to that goal, when you finally get to that place, it ain't gonna overwhelm you because you're already prepared for that moment. You're preparing yourself for that moment right now. You're preparing yourself to do what you need to do right now. So that way, when tomorrow comes, when you get the things you need, when you get the things you want, you're like, I prepared my mind for this. Whether it's millions of dollars or whatever, you say, okay, yeah, I want to get successful. I have like 10, 30, $40 million. Okay, when you get that money, but if you don't put yourself in that space now, like you got the money now, or you got the gold now, or you got the things you want now. Because when you get it, you're not prepared, it's going to overwhelm you. That's why a lot of people, when they do get money, when they do get success, they fall because they didn't prepare themselves for that. They were just in that, they want to get to it, but they weren't prepared. Like, for example, somebody want to play the lottery. If you're playing the lottery and you want to win the lottery, but if you don't prepare yourself mentally to get $100 million or to have $100 million, what's going to happen when you wake up next day and you want $100 million and you're not mentally prepared for $100 million? You're gonna be paranoid. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be like making bad choices. That money's not gonna last long. People's gonna take advantage of you. You're gonna make dumb choices. So prepare yourself before it gets there. Like I said, you see yourself with the money. See yourself with the things you want before you get it. So that way you're ready. And like I said, start where you at. Because I'm starting where I'm at. Like I said, I'm always been a workaholic for jobs. I've been a workaholic for all my life. And I don't mind working. I'm a work. But guess what? Work for you too. Work for myself. Build myself up. You know what I'm saying? Still do my thing at my job. Still do what I need to do for work. But you do the same thing. If you're working for a career, you're working for a company, you're working for somebody, that's fine. You gotta make a living. That's cool. But when you take that time to get off work, like I told my daughter, I said, she was talking about how she wants to work her things and how she works her job. I said, it's all about time management. It's all about mindset, time management. And what I'm trying to say about that is that, I heard plenty of motivation talk about it. I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about it too. Look at your 24 hours. Okay, if you got to go to work at 8 in the morning and you get off at 4, come home from work, take a shower, freshen up, whatever, get something to eat, and now spend the next 2-3 hours on your dream before you go to bed. 4 hours, how you do it. At least try to get 6 to 7 hours sleep, but at least spend at least 3, I would say between 2 and 4 hours a day on what you really want to do. And that's what I'm learning now, is that I'm stopped making excuses about, hey, my job is holding me back. Hey, the things around me. I was making excuses for why I can't do my YouTube channel. There's no mentally I ain't got no time. I'm tired. Get the proper rest. Make time, because the job you're not working 24 hours a day. Most people work maybe 8 to 12 hours a day, whatever. 12 hours, you still got another 12 to go. Put 3 into yourself. You're still gonna get sleep. You're still gonna be able to take a shower. You're still gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and I also heard a quote talk about, stop trying to get a vacation away from a job. It's like, don't look at getting a vacation away from your, because a lot of times you're like, oh, I can't wait to go on vacation. Change your life so you don't have to make your life a way that you'll have to wait for a vacation. You're happy with your life. You're at peace with life, whether you're taking a vacation or not. You're okay with where you're at. And with that being said, I just want to do this video. And like I said, I really want you guys to really see who I am. Like I said, a lot of times when you're doing this kind of stuff, you go into this arena of, trying to be a, content creator, or you're trying to be a person that speaks to people. I don't, you kind of like tense up, you kind of sound robotic, but people that know me, I'm very like energetic. I'm very like funny. I'm very like, have a lot of personality. And like I said, I'm going to show the personality, because you know what? I'm trying to go somewhere. Like I said, I'm trying to go somewhere in my life. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to touch people. I'm trying to impact people. I'm trying to do my visions are very great. And it's like, the only person that's going to be holding me back is myself. And I'm not going to allow that either. I held myself back too long. I let myself down too many times in my life. Shout out to my daughter, Janetta, is that we talked, and it's like, she's a lot like me in a lot of ways. And, a lot of all my kids are like me. I got 4 kids. I got 2 boys, 2 girls. I got a 31-year-old son. I got a 26-year-old daughter. I got a 24-year-old son who's in the Air Force. And I got a 22-year-old baby girl. And they have my personality. They have their mom's personality too, but they have my personality as well. And like I said, my daughter, I see her like a lot like me, because we like to think a lot. And we're trying to figure stuff out all the time. My son's the same way. My younger son, he's the same way, where he's trying to always figure things out. And like I say, it's all about the mindset. And another thing is being patient, being consistent. Be consistent with what you want to do, and be patient. It's not, every day is not going to go great. Everything is not going to go perfectly. You can have some bad days, but guess what? make your vision, your dreams more bigger than the problem of that day, and just get through that day. Because guess what? Tomorrow, it might be a lot more. It will be a lot more smoother. When you have a mindset, you can be in a room full of you can be a room full of fools, but your mindset is so strong that you see past the food. You can dodge a fool. You can dodge negativity. You can dodge anything when you say, "Oh, I'm not gonna let this negativity stop me from where I gotta go." Trust me, life. That's how life is. You're gonna always gonna have negativity around you. So I'm just letting you know that right now, guys. Just start where you at, stay focused, and build yourself to have a better tomorrow. And I'm gonna leave you with this, with a saying I'm trying to work on, and I'm a saying I want to keep on saying. I'm gonna add another word to it today. Keep rising, keep shining, keep grinding. Take on the day and be the best version of you know you can be. You guys have a great day, and I will holler at y'all again. Y'all take care. Peace.